Have you ever done a podcast before? Come on.
No.
You're going to be a star. Get ready.
All right, we are live. Here comes the intro, Jenny. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you amazing listeners out there in podcast land? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the one, the only. You know where to find it. You love it. The Grow Clinton podcast. That's right, folks. Grow Clinton, a small nonprofit economic development and community development and tourism organization based in the eastern side of the great state of Iowa, right along the mighty Mississippi River. As always, I am your host for today's show, Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton, joined in the studio by Jenny Home, the Director of Member and Community Relations at Grow Clinton.
That's
Jenny,
me.
what's happening?
I got to say a shout out to Ms. Michelle, your mom.
My mama.
Oh, thank you for the goodie package that we got today. All
Yeah.
delicious.
No, my mom's, she's a saint, I tell you what.
I know. She must be.
Unless she upset her. I learned that the hard way growing up, Every
Yeah.
once in a while, she would.
Mhm.
I told my stepdad before they would get married, I said, just watch her. If she gets mad, her head spins around 360 degrees. And he said, no, she's beautiful. That would never happen. Now they've been married for 20 plus years, and he's seen it several
He's
times.
flinchy.
No, my dear mother, sent us a care package from the great state of Pennsylvania. We
So
got some
nice.
pretzels and Reppert's chocolate and some dipping sauces for the pretzels.
That dipping sauce is.
I know, it's
best.
good. It's a
Oh.
honey-based mustard pretzel
Yum.
dipping sauce. Very good. So, yes, thank you, dear mama out there in Pennsylvania, Michelle. Go look her up on Facebook. I won't give her a full name because
Okay, no.
she just creeps on Facebook.
Does she?
Well, she doesn't like people to know she's there. She just creeps.
If they allow it, it's okay.
So if she finds out like somebody's with child or somebody just got married or whatever, she'll call me and be like, "Did you know?"
Did you know?
I'm like, "How'd you know?" Because you were creeping on Facebook,
Hey,
you weirdo.
It's allowed. It's not weird.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
You know what else we allow? Sponsors for the Grow Clinton podcast. That's right, folks. Mike Check is courtesy of Citizens First Bank, making our finances and the audio here on Grow Clinton podcast crystal clear. These new mics in the studio are proudly sponsored by the bank that's always in tune with our community. Find them at gocfb.bank. Banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank, member FDIC. AdCraft Printwear and Sully Sports. AdCraft's been in the custom apparel game since 1974. Over the years, they started out just serving really the Clinton, Iowa area. Now they're a cutting-edge operation providing top-notch customized printwear to teams and companies all across the United States. For all of your custom printwear needs, adcraftusa.com, adcraftusa.com, and check out the brand new Sully Sports located off of Mill Creek here in Clinton out in the Lions Business Technology Park. Brand new AdCraft building with a brand new Sully Sports storefront. You don't want to miss out. It's beautiful, Jenny.
I went on Saturday, and I got to tell you,
They give you a family discount?
no, I don't
Oh,
ask for
my
family
gosh. No, I'm
discount.
just kidding.
Family doesn't ask family for discounts.
They're good to us either way.
They are.
Yeah.
But my heart, because my nephew John was just exploded.
John, he's back
He's running it. I was so proud to see him.
running the shop. They
Yeah.
closed the Temples. They got rid of Temples. They closed
Mhm.
that in Bettendorf and
Yep.
opened up Sully Sports here in Clinton.
And that's
so
where John will be.
Yeah.
We got there and he was shoveling snow. I
That's
said,
right.
that's the life of a
Director
manager.
of everything at
Yep.
Sully Sports.
As you know.
OG spots. Yeah, I know. Fixing toilets around here, all sorts of things. Miles Communication powers the Grow Clinton podcast with wicked fast, high-speed internet. They also offer television and telephone services as well. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they are on their way. MilesTelephone.com. Again, MilesTelephone.com. LyondellBasell, the leader in global chemical industry, guided by the purpose of creating solutions for everyday sustainable living. LYB is one of the world's largest producers of polymers and a leader in the polyolefin technology biz. The LyondellBasell Clinton complex produces resins used to create a variety of plastic products, including household and industrial bottles, pressure pipes, food packaging, outdoor durable goods, kayaks, everything you can think of, roofing materials, toys, the list goes on. LYB is committed to being a responsible and engaged neighbor in the communities where they serve and operate. Through volunteerism, charitable giving, partnerships with local organizations, LYB aims to strengthen communities by supporting education, sustainability, and safety initiatives. LyondellBasell, solutions for a better tomorrow. Thank you to all of our sponsors for allowing us the opportunity to continue to host this podcast. Great show today, Jenna.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. This is something I rave about.
Yeah, we did a ribbon cutting long time ago.
11 years.
Nathan Songroth was the chamber and president and CEO at the time. I was just a punk ambassador out there with my red jacket on, cruised in this old Victorian style home located right here in Clinton, Iowa, right off of 5th Avenue South, now known as the Fisher House Bed and Breakfast. So we have on the show with us owner, chief lead innkeeper, fixer of everything, remodeler, construction expert, Dan Fisher. Dan, thanks for joining us on the pod.
My pleasure, Andy. Thank you for having me.
11 years already. Wow.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
we opened in October of '84 or October of 2014.
Yeah.
So-
No kidding.
So you found this house, but you didn't. It's not like you've been in the bed and breakfast business your whole life. Prior to that, you served 25 years in, drum roll, my favorite branch of the service, the United States Air Force, folks.
Yay.
What were you, a loadmaster, crew chief?
No,
What were you-
I for the first 12 years or so, I was a military police officer.
Okay.
So I was just just like a cop
In
out
the Air
on the
Force,
road,
though,
in
security
the Air
forces.
Force.
Yep.
And then I had gotten in an accident and hurt my leg to where I couldn't do the physical requirements of that job, and they retrained me into computers, and I was an IT specialist for the last 13.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. Well, it's good to know IT. We found that out the hard
Now,
way
see,
here.
well, yeah. I see. This is interesting to me because it is not something I know about you. I didn't
Oh.
know this, and I think that's so cool.
So, Dan, you were from the area originally, you had family here. What brought you from serving our country 25 years in the United States Air Force to then opening up a bed and breakfast here in Clinton?
Well, my wife and I both grew up in Savannah. Am I close enough?
Yeah.
Okay. My
Sounds
wife
great.
and I both grew up in Savannah, north of here. We had just returned from a 3-year tour in Japan,
Where were you?
Yokota,
Yokota. Yeah.
just outside Tokyo.
Yep.
And my mom had one of my vehicles. The Air Force stored one for me out in California, which we picked up and drove back to our base down in Texas. And we flew up here to get the other car from Mom, and we just happened to be driving by and love the old architecture anyways. I just
Yeah, so do we.
always liked the old architecture. And saw the house sitting there. It was for sale and pretty run down. And we joked about it. We made a comment. So that's a kind of neat place. And I still had a few years to go before I was ready to retire. And I was out on the internet one day, a few months later, looking just kind of up early in the morning, just surfing the internet. And I was looking at stuff up here and looked at remembered the house in Jeffries had it for sale. So I looked it up, and it was a little more than I wanted to pay for a house, and especially knowing the condition it was in. So I called Mary up. I called up Towles and Jeffries and Mary Swanson.
Yeah.
She has become a great friend since selling
Yeah.
me the house. But I talked to her, and she thought I was absolutely nuts. I'm down in Texas and said, hey, looking kind of interested in this house. And we didn't really know what we wanted to do after post Air Force. And once we saw the house and I came up, I flew back up, looked at it. It was in pretty good shape other than, it needed a lot of work, obviously, cosmetic. The roof had a small leak that needed addressed, which if I hadn't bought it, I imagine the roof would have gave way within a couple years.
I have to say that when that was sold, that it had been on the market, and just based from what I heard from everybody, everybody was so relieved that it had been bought and that people were going to take care of it, and because it's such a landmark in our downtown.
Yeah, and the history behind it with the Wards. The Baldwins don't have quite the history in the town as the Wards did, but the Baldwins were the builder, and the Wards owned it for almost 80 years, I think.
Wow.
The Ward family.
80 years.
So anyways, we did some research, and there wasn't any bed and breakfast in the area that were really, Bellevue had the Mount Blanc, I think it is,
Yes.
and then of course Galena. And we just thought, well, it would be a project. I always wanted to do a project like that. I was thinking more like my roots, like a farm.
Yeah.
Buying an old farmhouse, 10, 15 acres, and fix up the farmhouse and have some animals and let the dogs run and stuff. But this one called to us. I always say the house found us. I don't think we didn't go
I
looking
mean,
for it.
how do you drive by it and
Yeah.
all of a sudden just that little flicker turns into this? And
And to be quite honest, the vision really never even came to light until I was in the midst of the remodeling. I had an overall vision of what we wanted to do, but so much changes when you open up a wall and find out what you can and can't do in
Right.
construction, that the whole thing was a continuously evolving process.
Yeah.
So it just worked out.
it
Yeah.
just worked out.
Nathan was a great ambassador at the time. When he got wind of it, him and Carrie Donaire, and they were really supportive, and it's been a great ride so far.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful home. Again, the address is 407 5th Avenue South, located right here in Clinton, Iowa. It's just the intersection of 5th and 4th. And it's beautiful. You've got a sign hanging out there, Fisher House Bed and Breakfast. Now, you have several different rooms within the home that are available. You have Frank's room, Annabelle's room, Charles' room. What is the namesakes for all these rooms?
The namesakes, as I mentioned earlier, the Baldwins. The Baldwins, Charles and Martha, built the house in somewhere between 1885 and 1890, or 1881 and 1885. I'm sorry. We have land sale records for 1881, and then we have occupancy records of 1885. So Charles and Martha built the house. They passed in the early 1900s, and I think around 1910, Frank and Annabelle Ward.
1919, according to your website.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Frank and Annabelle bought the house, and Frank was the president of the Eclipse Lumber Company, which, of
Oh my
course, most
gosh.
people from this area know survived up until the late
Yep.
70s.
Big E.
And then Frank's son, John, actually owned the house up into the 90s. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it stayed. It's the family from the Frank and Annabelle purchased it in 1919, stayed with their descendants until 1997.
Jeez. And I gotta
So-
say, I went for a visit, and I got a tour from Dan and Peg,
Mhm.
and I left with my jaw was dropped. It's so beautiful
Oh,
in
it
there.
is gorgeous.
Everything's it's just high end beauty, and I've been raving about it ever since.
thank you.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive. I remember back when you opened it, we were there for ribbon cutting and all the intricate woodwork
Oh man.
and a lot of that stuff. Now, you took on most of that yourself, correct?
Correct. Well, I did. I took on the vision part of it. No, I did a lot of the work, but my brother Daryl gets most of the credit for the work. He was unemployed at the time, and he had a lot of construction experience. So he came down. I first asked him to help with the kitchen on the first floor. I wanted to get that going and then he just kind of enjoyed it and stayed on, and he worked with me for the whole 4 years of the
Yeah.
renovation.
Do you have another brother, Daryl? This is
Ah,
my,
No,
this is my
Daryl.
brother, Daryl. This is my other brother,
I
Daryl.
do have another brother that's real handy, but not
What was that,
named
Bob
Daryl.
Newhart?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
It's amazing. If you have not had the chance to look at it, go by and check it out, because we have people coming to visit us constantly,
Yes.
whether it's family, friends, or we have folks coming in just staying for a couple nights as they investigate the area as a place to do business. The rooms, again, are beautiful. All the rooms are equipped. You have Wi-Fi, you have televisions in the rooms. The amenities and the things that you need just to stay comfortable, but the decor, I mean,
Oh,
is so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I really like in Frank's room, that kind of rounded corner there where the window
Yeah.
projects out.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And that is the window is actually curved glass in that one.
Oy.
Oh,
And then
wow.
the bench, if you can see it a little bit in the picture there, the bench is was original to the house. We pulled it out, maintained it during the renovation, and then we actually took it to an upholsterer. We built a template for it and took it to an upholsterer and had him made the cushion that's on it.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was
That's
really
so
neat.
cool.
That reminds me of when you watch these shows on I don't know,
HGTV, whatever.
HGTV,
Yeah.
and you go in and it's the after. You go in and everybody's going, "Oh my gosh, how did you do this?" And that's what it reminds me of, and it's so welcoming. I came in the front door and there's a kind of a desk when you come in, and it just feels warm and welcoming. And I can't think of a better place to, like, maybe if you wanted to do something fancy for the night before a wedding, or even if you're planning on going on a honeymoon, but you're going to be in town for a couple nights before you do that. That's just such a special place to go.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you have not seen it and just want a virtual tour, you can go to Fisher House B&B. That's Fisher House Bravo.com. And then the bottom, there is a take a virtual tour link. They're available on Facebook as well. And then if you want to email them, it's innkeeper@fisherhousebb.com. But everything you need to know is on their website, testimonials, feedback, information regarding the local area. Now, talk to me about the short-term rental opportunities, because there's an apartment associated with this, correct?
Not with that house. I
Okay.
do have a separate house, just basically on 6th Avenue South, kind of across the alley from me.
Ah, the guest house. Yes.
And it has a house, a 3-bedroom house and a 1-bedroom apartment. And I do them as like Airbnb type short-term rentals.
Mhm.
Because we've had a lot of people request like family stays at ours,
Sure.
and we set a policy of no children just because we envisioned our place being like a couples retreat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we didn't want children running around. We're both working at full time when we opened it, so we couldn't be open on the weekdays. So
Now, your wife was at the Arsenal. Were you as well?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Is
and
she still there?
no, she just retired in October,
Good for her.
and I'm sticking on until we're comfortable and we're sure we're ready to just make the final leap into retirement. But the nice thing about the short-term rental is it's unhosted, so if you want to be there during the week, you can be. If you want to bring kids, it's set up for that with games
So
and-
can you have kids
Mm.
at the short-term rental?
yes,
And the
absolutely.
short-term rental, not the apartment.
Not the
Yeah,
apartment.
the apartment's a 1-bedroom.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
we don't
Okay.
really. I mean, I think we've had people stay there and they said, "Well, we got one kid, yeah, like a really young
Baby.
one, and bring
Mhm.
like a crib or bring a pack and play or
Right.
something." I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as they take care of the place and they're not abusive to it, and
Right.
respect the house, I'm good with it.
So
Yeah.
the actual bed and breakfast has, you said 7 rooms?
No, it has 4 guest rooms.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 guest
Right.
rooms, but there are 7 bathrooms. Is that
Correct.
what you
Within
said?
the house,
Within
yes.
the house. And so, but you said they're different. Like the king size rooms have a shower, and then the others have baths.
Opposite king size,
sorry.
the king bedrooms. The
Jenny,
char-
let him talk. Jenny,
I'm just
she
so
goes there one
excited.
time. She's a
The-
next.
the,
no,
I'm
I'm
an expert.
the Frank Ward and the Charles Baldwin room both have king size beds,
Yes.
and they both have tubs with showers in them. And then the queen rooms, named for Martha and Annabelle, have queen size beds and they have walk-in showers.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, no, this is great. Check in from 4 to 8 p.m. Check out 11 a.m. It's open year round. Sorry, but they cannot usually accept drop-ins because advanced reservations
Mhm.
are required.
And that's changing now. Now that Peggy retired, once she recuperates from her broken ankle.
Broken ankle, everyone. Yeah.
She's going to let it start opening up during the week. So we will be expanding our hours.
That's going to be
and
helpful.
probably maybe accommodate drop-ins. They're still tough with us because our standards are so high on the breakfast we provide with fresh fruit,
Wow.
and stuff like that. If somebody comes at 6 o'clock at night and wants to stay, then we're rushing out to try to get stuff
Sure.
to support them
Yeah.
if we don't have it. So that's still up in the air, but we're definitely going to be expanding our calendar to be open during the week, probably next summer.
That's great. What am I getting for a breakfast if I stay there?
It could be anything, as I think somewhere on my website it says. It's basically innkeeper's choice. It could be blueberry pancakes with sausage. It could be a scrambled egg casserole with ham steaks and seasoned potatoes.
Whoosh,
Could be
that sounds delicious.
banana and strawberry French toast,
Mm.
waffles. We have.
I haven't
yeah,
eaten yet today, Dan. It's making my tummy rumble.
We have 8 or 9 different breakfasts. A lot of it depends on how many people there are,
Mhm.
and that, because some meals are easier to make for a group than others. So we kind of gauge it that way.
That's so cool. I tell you what, if you want to just feel like a kid again and go stay one night and get up and have somebody make a great breakfast for you,
I'm just thinking of my wife ever kicks me out,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
I'm
that
gonna stay in a bed. We can just split the cost.
rumpus room.
No, this is so cool, man. I
It
love
is.
this. And you guys do such a great job, and there's so much to do around our community. But we have, probably once a month, maybe even more, we get calls from a lot of our large employers,
Mhm.
engineering type usually, that come in and they help out with some stuff. They stay maybe 3-4 months or something like that. and they're looking for a place to crash,
Mhm.
and they're here for a short duration, just a couple of weeks. And you're on our short list of places to send folks. So hopefully you receive some business from us. But it is an amazing experience. And as you said in the beginning of the show, you love the old architecture and especially the Victorian style homes that are in our community. You can't beat it.
No.
I mean, it really breaks my heart too when I see some of them just go into a state of disrepair
Yes.
and end up
Mhm.
on the city's demolition list, because, you
Yep.
know, at one point there was a lot of thought and a lot of time that went into that
Mhm.
stuff. Even my mom's house that she used to live in previously was a beautiful home. It used to be an old car dealership, and it had those medallions in the ceilings that were
Yeah.
actually like carved in, and
Mhm.
it was just beautiful. The intricacy of the woodwork, that doesn't happen anymore.
Right. No, it doesn't. And if it does, it's prefabricated and people just, I don't know what you're saying about the houses, how many times we've gone up and down the street and
Mhm.
said, when that was built, that was somebody's pride and joy.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see a house like this is somebody's
It-
pride and joy.
What's funny is in all the renovations, we pretty much took the house to the studs almost everywhere. And I always tell people, I said, the only place we ever really had an issue, other than the dimension of the lumber at the time it was built being true dimension,
Yes.
the only time we ever had an issue of having to really fix something is where it had been remodeled over the years.
Mm.
The original craftsmanship that went into the houses like that was just so much above anything you find
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
that it's amazing.
My mom's house was built around near that time, and she lives on a very busy street. And people always ask her, how can you stand all the noise? You don't hear it because it's
Oh, well
such quality,
insulated.
quality
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's amazing. I mean, houses back then took how long to build something
Yeah.
like that?
right.
And now you can throw up a house in less than a month.
And you know what? When they took, they had to redo a bathroom because it was falling apart. So they took off the medicine cabinet, and all the builders had signed their names behind the medicine cabinet.
Did you
So-
find anything crazy when you were pulling
Yeah.
apart?
Not well. We do have a display in our stairwell of things we found basically fell on us as we were renovating. Nothing really crazy. One of my favorite items in it is a little, probably it's like felt, but it's a hand stitched dowel. It's only about this big, and it's just something that some mom or grandma made for their kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it is so neat to see it
Yeah.
and think of this thing's 150 years
Yeah.
old.
Jeez.
And that, but we did find one area where some of the renovators or builders, I'm not sure, I think it was renovators, due to the area it was at, did sign it.
Yeah.
I think that was in the 40s after Frank moved the staircase to the front of the house and put the apartments in
That's
upstairs.
cool. I always love that stuff. If you go to Iowa's Capitol, the building itself,
Yeah.
when you walk down in the basement, there's a display of all the things they have found over the years doing renovations. And
No
it's like,
way.
oh yeah, old candy bars and packs of smokes and
Oh,
just all sorts of things that builders left behind. I mean,
Yeah.
boots, tools, all these different things. And then,
Wow.
when they go up, especially up top, and they start doing renovations like around the rotunda and stuff, they always find things
Yeah.
stuffed somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Well, that leads me to a question. Is it haunted?
I can't confirm that. Like any house, especially old houses, you hear stuff, but
Sure.
my wife's more of the believer of
She's
that
a
kind of
believer?
stuff, and I'm more of the skeptic. So I will say I've heard noises that's hard to explain. I
Yeah.
don't know that I can say it's paranormal because I couldn't explain it. So I will say I've heard that, but
Yeah.
who knows? It's not. There's nothing nefarious if there is.
Yeah.
put it
No,
that
it's all
way.
nice stuff.
My mom's house was built, a long time ago. I don't remember the years, but one time I was just sitting there in the little den area office, and I was on the computer, and all of a sudden, on the corner of my eye, I saw this little blonde girl just sitting there staring at me.
No.
Not a ghost. It was my sister. She used to sleepwalk. It used to drive me nuts. I'd be sitting there just like on the computer, lights off.
You got
I used to work at Best Buy, and I would
Yeah.
unload the trucks and stuff. And I come home, and I was just like sitting there, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, she's just staring, like sitting there with her eyes closed, like facing me. And I'm like,
Oh,
my
weird.
mom's like, "Don't wake her up," and I'm like, "No, wake her up! Get up, you freak!"
Weird.
I know.
Weird.
And she had, my sister to this day has very, very blonde hair.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine her little
crazy.
curly blonde hair staring at me.
Freaking
I'm
you
like,
out.
oh gosh. yeah,
Wow.
no.
So are there any the last family that lived there was Baldwin?
Well, no, no, Baldwin built it. The
Wards.
Wards owned it.
Okay.
John John,
you
the
were
son,
failing this test.
Monday,
yeah.
Monday.
John, their son, inherited it basically, but he was already off making his own life.
Okay.
So he kept it as a rento. He had somebody living downstairs that pretty much managed the house for him, and then he had the 2 apartments upstairs that they rented out. And then I think in '97, I know it's the late '90s, as John was getting older and failing health,
Mhm.
he donated it to I believe, one of the Catholic churches in town.
Okay.
Obviously, being an expense that the churches probably didn't want to put out.
Right.
They sold it. I'm not sure the history on how many people it went through before that, but the people that had it directly before us tried to open a small antique store and like a tea house.
I remember
in
that. Yeah.
They were living upstairs and trying to run that downstairs, and it wasn't paying for the house, and they
Right.
lost it to foreclosure.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the process of foreclosure is such a long process.
Yes.
We end up buying it from the bank out of foreclosure, and like I said, just took it on, trying to. Our real goal was to save, what I consider an American classic.
Mhm.
Well, thank goodness you were driving down the street the one day and saw it and thought,
Yeah.
I could do that. I could.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We greatly appreciate
Yes.
your investment, your time, your effort, your brother Daryl for doing some of the work,
Right.
your wife for supporting your vision. And
She does work too, though,
yeah.
doesn't she?
She's more in the decorating phase. Once
That's
we're done,
work.
yeah, it is. It is definitely. And
She's
she
like my
does-
wife, the supervisor.
and she does.
I don't like that.
She does all the logistics of our operations. Like, she
Okay.
plans the breakfast. I'll come down and I have an idea of what she's going to do, but I'll come down and say, what are we serving for breakfast this morning?
Oh,
and she, whether it's me cooking or her cooking, because she has her specialties, I have mine. And
see, that's talent, though. I'd be like, this box of cereal,
Yeah.
and here's some
Welcome to
milk.
Jenny's bed
Yeah.
and breakfast.
And on the menu, take it or leave it.
You got the travel size Fruit Loops.
Ah,
We're out of milk. Good luck.
dry cereal.
Yeah.
No.
My mom, I love, we talk a lot about my mom on this podcast, but because I'm a mama's boy, but my mom, she never really made like a lot of breakfasts and stuff. And we always just joke, like she would say, Mom, what's for breakfast? And she'd be like, well, there's cereal. or
Yeah.
whatever." But she's doing a lot of cooking now that she's retired.
Good.
Yeah, she's trying new
Fun.
things.
that
and
happens.
Yes,
dabbling.
That
Her,
happens.
her cousins
dad
are
was the same way.
bakers.
Yeah.
Once he retired from the railroad up in Savannah, he took on cooking as a hobby, and the only problem is we had 6 kids in the family, so he took on cooking, and he never stopped cooking for that many. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you get big portions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have friends that have come up with me, like when I was down at Scott Air Force Base, and they'd come up for the weekend or something, and sit down, and Dad would put out this big Sunday meal in front of
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
and
nice.
They'd be like, "Really? It's just 2 or 3 of us."
Eat
And Dad's like, "Yeah, but you never know who's gonna stop by, so there's gotta be plenty."
for him.
Well,
That's awesome.
Dan, thank you so much for all that you do. Make sure you check them out online, FisherHouseBB.com. Again, FisherHouseBB.com. All the information you need is right there. There is a link to our virtual tour. Be sure to check it out. Next time you have somebody come and visit you here in Clinton, send them over to the Fisher House Bed and Breakfast. They'll thank you for it. And if you get kicked out by your significant other,
Yeah.
cruise on over to the Fisher House Bed and Breakfast.
You'll be in luxury.
Yeah, you probably won't want to leave. You'll have that
That's
amazing
right. I'm
breakfast.
good.
And
Yeah.
honey, come home. I want to make up. No,
No.
I'm good.
This is
I
how
just
it
had
should be.
600 pounds of eggs, and I'm good. But this is awesome. Again,
Yeah.
FisherHouseBB.com. Thank you for your investment in our community, Dan. Thank you for your investment in Grow Clinton. We appreciate all that you do.
All right, thank you. We enjoy it. We really have a good time running it, so we enjoy it.
Good. Excellent.
What matters?
Jenny, what do you got going on the rest of the week? It's
Well,
only Monday, but we got a little holiday party for ourselves coming
We
up.
do on Thursday, and I'm winding up a little bit for the end of the year because, as you know, I save my vacation for
Yeah,
the
you
end of the
leave
year.
us Christmas land. You take
I
off.
do. And so I'm getting things ready for that. I'm trying to get my office moved because, as we talked about before, remodeling.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to move my office, but I got some thank you notes to write, and I got all
Yeah.
kinds of things like that to do.
Yeah, well, I did buy a little tool for my engraver where I may be able to do custom Christmas decoration, like tree ornaments. Like the balls, I think I can.
This is what I love because
I'm always thinking.
you're always thinking.
Yeah.
And like whenever I come into the podcast room, something new all the time. But Andy will come up and show up with, like the one time you came and you got us the insulated
Mugs.
mugs, and I use mine.
Customize them, yeah.
It's good for a double drink.
My wife always asks, "What are you going to do with that?" I'm like, "I don't know.
I don't
Why
know.
do you need that tool?" I don't know, but there's going to come a time, just like every man who saves a chunk of lumber.
Right.
What are you going to do with that? There's going to come a time where I need a 1x that's 6 inches long, and it's going to be perfect fit.
See,
So I
does
gotta
that
save
work
it.
for
And
you,
that's
Dan?
going to be the day after you throw it away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Oh, yeah. Well, all right, everybody. Tongue-tied. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. Remember, Grow Clinton is a nonprofit organization that generates all of our operating revenue from investment from our nearly 500 members.
Right.
So if you are a business, you offer service, you're looking to break into the Clinton market, make sure you hit us up, growclinton.com. You can find us online. What was our number now? 242-5702
It hasn't
is our
changed.
direct line. Has not changed. Been that way for 30 plus years.
Yes.
And we'd be love to help you out. So as always, my name's Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton. Make sure you tune into our podcast in the future. Go ahead and subscribe. We're available at all your major podcatching applications, Amazon, iTunes, YouTube, Buzzsprout, all of them. Everywhere. All right, folks, until we talk again, stay classy. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.